I think it's compounding. It's like a toxin.
My life on Lotus flashed before my eyes.
It's a short life, at least. From what we've seen.
Yeah,
7 to
11 times.
DRG tying it up. Decent round in the previous. Good economy. Isu playing aggressive. He'll grab himself the first. Sticks around after the flash. He sticks around a bit too long. The punish is there. T1 start to shift towards this side of the map.
He seems to be allergic to his gate crash. Like most of the time,
set up mãi mới được anh em ơi.
Get a kill and escape. Especially when your teammate has fallen back. He wants to stick around too much, and in cases where your opponent you can't afford to be doing that. Like, these risks are just not worth it.
Tôi không biết là tại sao máy tôi hôm nay tôi setup máy nó hơi lâu một tí. Anh kiểm tra đường âm thanh giúp mình được chưa? Mẹ ngồi xem anh đi một nãy giờ mà một tay xem một tay thì lại ngồi setup. Anh không biết là đỡ hay chưa, nhưng mà ngày hôm nay tôi làm tất cả mọi thứ rồi. Thứ nhất tôi đã gọi FPT đến. Các anh kỹ thuật bên FPT đến đã hỗ trợ tôi. Sau đó thì tôi cũng đã cài lại win. Tôi xóa hết tất cả của máy, tôi cài lại win từ đầu. Bây giờ thì mà bị nữa thì chỉ có một vấn đề duy nhất thôi là do cái main. Mắt hết view á, chuyện bình thường thôi, nhưng âm thanh ổn không mọi người? Mọi người thấy âm thanh có bị làm sao không? Tí nữa mà nếu như vẫn có cái trường hợp như ngày hôm qua xảy ra thì có thể là do on main. Hết cách rồi đấy, dùng hết cách rồi đấy. Trưa nay á, trưa nay anh làm cái gì? Trưa nay làm cái gì hả Nguyên? Anh nhận đồ của Nguyên rồi. Một con chuột Logitech Super này. Wow, em Nguyên tặng cho mọi người trên kênh chat nhân dịp 100k sub. Một con chuột 100.000 subscribe giveaway cho mọi người Super Light Deck. Thì anh ấy làm cái ảnh thật đẹp, anh đăng giveaway cho mọi người sau. Đăng lên fanpage sau nhá. Mọi người xem giúp mình là âm thanh được chưa? Tôi sẽ kiểm tra thử âm thanh xem được chưa nhá anh em ơi.
This could be an immediate response from DRG.
Yeah, we talked about how direct they like to play on the defensive side.
Ổn đúng không? Nó không kiểu bị to quá đúng không?
Rifles just about bought up.
Thêm đường dự phòng á, anh không hiểu là vấn đề do đâu ấy. Cả một buổi sáng ngày hôm nay khi mà anh ngồi anh test thử thì nó có sập vào một chút, nhưng mà 2 tiếng đồng hồ sau thì gần như nó là không bị sập. Không biết là vấn đề này xảy ra do cái đường truyền buổi tối nó bị lag hay là như thế nào, nhưng hiện tại thì anh đang thấy mọi thứ nó ok. Mà anh em mình mới có mở stream được 2-3 phút thì không đoán được gì cả. Trong trường hợp mà vẫn bị nhá thì anh sẽ thay main. Anh sẽ thay một main khác. Nếu như mà thay main nó không giải quyết được thì anh sẽ lắp thêm một cái cục mạng nữa. Ui, Akamen. Các bạn thấy anh đi mười bán nhào? Anh em mới vào thôi, cho mình xin một like nhé mọi người nhé, để đẩy giúp em lên trên đề xuất lại mọi người ơi. Thì FPT mấy hôm nay đang lag mà, bởi vì cái đường truyền mạng dạo này nó bị đứt cáp quang quốc tế mà.
And I said the danger for T1. The only player surviving in the last round was Buzz.
Nhưng mà cái lỗi của anh thì không phải là do mạng anh mà lỗi của anh là do nhiều thứ. Anh nghĩ là có thể là do cái bản win của anh nó bị lỗi, nên là anh đã thử cài lại một cái bản win khác. Mình phải cất cái USB, không ai vừa mua cái USB mấy trăm nghìn này, bé tí này các bạn nhìn này. Mẹ cái USB bé tí luôn. Cái này không biết kéo phải cất ở đâu. Rất là dễ mất. Nó bé quá.
What an incredibly competitive game we've had so far for DRG. Coming in as an Ascension team, the stakes couldn't be higher. As we said, it's not just about lifting a trophy, about making a deep.
Anh em mà thấy có xoay hoặc là giật lag gì thì các bạn cứ thoải mái nhắn tôi nhá. Đầu tiên là hy vọng là mọi người mới vào cho mình xin một like này. Tại vì hôm nay mình livestream hơi muộn nên là view của mình nó bay hết rồi. Thêm một cái nữa là anh em có thể cho mình cái chất lượng hình ảnh mọi người xem ở trên điện thoại hoặc là trên vi tính. Vẫn bị rồi.
And with the pressure being one of those teams dropping down, you're expected to be better than the teams in the tier 2, and that is not always the case. I think G2 have proven that in Americas for quite a while now.
Oh, this is it. The T1 on the other side, you think back to Bangkok. You saw them lift the trophy.
Yeah.
And definitely, in terms of opening up this group, in terms of opening up champs, you don't want to see them go down early if you're a T1 fan, but especially to a team from Ascension, especially to a team who've made a last-minute substitute of bringing in one of the best chamber players.
And lost one of their best.
Không,
cái vấn đề là hết thì chắc chắn nó sẽ hết. Nghĩa là về cơ bản là kiểu gì nó cũng sẽ hết.
One of the rifles, DH is down, and is it retrievable? It might be stuck on top of the box.
Kiểu gì nó cũng sẽ hết thôi anh em.
If so, leaving Buzz as the only man holding a big gun. They're on the rotate to the C side. And DH already lost. And a lot of the stopping power that you'll see in a buy round doesn't exist here. Okay, the rifle did fall. Thank you, Jack. Not Jack, I'm so used to EMEA.
Just give him credit. Why not?
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Oh, it's a bold play from Buzz. At this point, you can understand wanting to try and put the world on his back, but
nó sẽ bị thôi, nó sẽ bị lại thôi.
Chance for Meteor. Always one of the best with the pistols, but this is definitely a tough ask, and he's the last man standing, flexing. There he is. Able to get himself a couple. DRG, after what was an incredibly slow start to this game, 5-2 down, now find themselves in the lead on that attack side. And I'll be honest with you, I'm yet to really see much on this defensive side that makes me think the T1 are going to be able to turn this around. It's been fairly comfortable for DRG in the second half.
Yeah. Correct myself. Shout out to Ty, our third-person observer, for this matchup here.
Oh,
always does a great job.
They've headbutted each other.
He's already come in, smacked the player straight in the head, but not with the rifle. Izu down, but DH is delivering. He's found himself a triple before eventually falling. Stacks was there, but Demon 1 deals with him. A shaky start for T1. DH put them right back on winning track, but now it's Meteor, a man who's received his MVP, his acknowledgement on the international scene. Well, he has to take down one of the best.
Chỉ bị xoay một tí thôi.
That TP was so risky. Giving it away.
Tôi vẫn nghĩ là T1 ngày hôm nay 2-1.
For the round, for the 10th round for DRG. A nail in the coffin if they lose this for T1. And time being bought. Demon 1 can reposition, but now Meteor is going to do the same, and there's no escape. Demon 1 caught by the ultimate, down to the Sheriff, but he's got the positional advantage.
Wow.
Meteor out of the round. T1 down by 2.
Anh Demon 1 anh Demon 1.
Spirit T1 gave me an absolute heart attack there. Clears so many different positions around the A site, but then gambles on his gate crash, and that gamble was definitely not worth it. Almost handed the round over. DH at the beginning, it feels like a lifetime ago, the amount of work that he was able to do.
Hỏng rồi, anh Demon 1.
Demon 1, top of the server right now, has been a safe pair of hands. Definitely seeming like the standing of the century so far. I want Meteor, sure, not a whole lot in this round, but dead within seconds.
The Bucky can be dangerous, but not on a peak like that. Demon 1 spoon-fed that pick. Can DH recover? Oh, he's going to let him fade away on the side. Izu, classic in hand. He's good for 1. Done well. Stacks at least finding another, but it's not enough in a round like this. The man left. DH. Stinger in hand.
Nếu mà nó xoay thêm một phát nữa thì các bạn bảo tôi nhé.
Remember, they held onto that space towards A long for a long time. I don't think they heard that weapon be picked up. He's dodged the flash. This timing could be perfect, but Demon 1's there to greet him. And even if he wasn't, Spirit Z1 should have cleaned up. 11 on the board. DRG, the underdog coming into this in most people's minds. Looking at T1's performance, looking at the substitute they've had to make, looking at the role for Demon 1. They're close to taking this now.
This is the thing, I almost wonder, and it might sound ridiculous, but like Demon 1 going into Gukashu's role of basically, it's much more simple in the aspect of like, we need you to hold this side of the map while we directly hit somewhere. You don't need to focus on setting up utility or like when, for example, when he plays smokes, like putting smokes into position. There's no real reason for him to be caught without his gun, and you put this guy just to frag. Well, he's 18-9. He is the top fragger in the whole server right now. It's looking very, very good. I'm sure there's some doubters or hate watchers sat there at home like, no, this is meant to be bad. Well, he's playing in a one trick. He's playing in the Chinese #2 team. He can't be the top fragger in the server. So unsuccessful hate watch so far, I'm sure, for many, but for Demon 1, it's got to be an absolute field day, a return to form. And T1, well, they've hit the panic button. You're 11-8 down. You're up against a team with a stand-in. I also just want to add the context of the rest of the group. The other two teams are G2 and Heretics. Obviously, Heretics went on a crazy run last. No.
You're joking. I'll let him know. I'll let him know what you said. Well, 11-8, and this could very well be the end of T1 if they lose this round, at least in this map. Their pick Sunset up next, so it's not all dire signs. It's definitely a time to be full clearance of this site with that command, but a big shutdown. T1 playing.
Chizu đã donate 150.000 đồng cho bạn. Tiền rip nha.
Ok rồi rồi. Mọi người chờ tôi đổi máy nhá.
But still miles away. Buzz injects himself onto the site. A chance for him to be isolated, but now the rotates are here. Now the ult's in play. Buzz's swing is perfect. Izu's clearing everything, and they will find this round a much-needed win for T1.
Yeah, I am surprised, though, with that advantage that we see both the Nightfall and the Dimensional Drift go through. Like, they were clearly very worried that that round could turn on its head, and honestly, with how some of them have gone, I can kind of understand why. Solid openers from DH and Meteor, and I'll be honest, it's another scenario again where I remember seeing Caron added into Gen G and going, oh, that's someone I don't know very much about. It's this young sort of like ranked player who has been thrown in from the T1 Academy. He has been their best player, and I think maybe you could make an argument for Buzz. I don't think you can make an argument for anyone else.
Máy là được mọi người ơi. Chờ xíu nhá, chờ tí nữa tôi đang chỉnh nốt.
Taking the space yet again. He could fall back, but he doesn't need to. Spirits C1's alongside him. Full control of the site, but it looks like T1 want to fight for it. A delay towards Hobbit. They'll have to wait a moment now with that stun landing, and that's going to get the plant out for DRG. Man advantage for the attackers, but that fades quickly. Nice shot by Izu. Here comes DH and Meteor. The full wrath of T1 unleashed, and no one standing but Nick. Three more. He's already got two, but that off is holding tight on the angle. Another round for T1. Just one away now. This is a hell of an opening map.
It looks like they've moved much more towards a retake setup. Like a lot of those early fights have not been working for them. The risky plays early in the round haven't been paying off. So instead, okay, they lose a man, but then it's just about boxing the players in, not allowing them to have these fast flanks, and then fighting as a team. And if you think back to like the X that was run by Stack, they were the best in the world at retaking. They were the best at having a setup, having utility put into play, sending in Buzz or sending in Izu in this case, and it works out for them. So I'm glad that that's the adaptation they've made. Now DRG aren't just going to sit there and let this game slip away. They're going to pause themselves.
DRG, you have this very oppressive opening duel ability. You fire in your utility, you take that space, and the idea is a lot of the time you're going to be able to punish somebody who's out of position. This is what we saw from this comp up against Team Liquid as well. But once that team starts to play in a way that they're not getting caught by it, they're letting you have the space and fighting for it afterwards. Like you said, that's what T1 are doing here. You need to find that second layer. You have so many tools on your belt to play with. It's not...
Khoan đã nha. Các bạn có nghe tiếng mic của không?
Absolutely. You've got that as well to fall back on those safety nets that we often talk about, but it's not a composition it's that only works with one approach. That's why I think it's so valuable. 20 seconds left before the round starts. That off of Izu seems to be putting up a lot of value when it comes to these retakes, because for DRG, taking the space, not having a fight, they have to choose where they battle. And a lot of the time, when they go to swing into that angle to take that little bit of extra control, Izu's waiting there with the op in hand.
Time to jump. Well, the other thing on the brink for the attack side here is going to be that economy. T1 take this round, and they might even be able to extend into the lead off of it. Again, you see these passive angles being held. The operator brought in for Izu once more just to passively hold A. An already massive group up from the defense on this B site. And elsewhere, just got DH. Jiggle peeking, but has now been smoked off.
Much more defaulty from DRG. Ackerman looking for the fight, spots one and gets out immediately. But eventually they will group up. They had Demon 1 waiting outside of A, but the C site, this is where the hit's coming through. Stun, it's perfect. The TP used, but it doesn't get DH to safety. Spirit C1 still able to pick him up. And now they've got control over C, but it's being fought for. Meteor stepped through the smoke. In comes Buzz. The stun landed, but Ackerman gets ahead of it. Flexing from up top. A DRG in a 5v1 all of a sudden. A lot of talk about Izu's operator. How it started to put him on the board. Put him in the kill feed on the right side of it too, but he'll hope that he's not appearing in that kill feed at all in this round. A save is called, and DRG as a result on 12 with 2 chances to close out their map pick here. For a team that came in with a substitute and a man who hasn't played Vice before and an official, they are looking sublime.
Yeah, I think also just this round was a much more deep commitment for T1. What we saw in their last C-site hold was they were both sat back, waiting, one holding onto the cross to try and fight anybody as they dived in. I think DH gets caught there. Like, they use the dimensional drift, spot him, hit him with the stun, and there's no real way out. Izu, he's surely dead. No way he comes out of that one alive, but at least manages the one. And this leaves them in quite a bit of trouble.
Như vậy là vấn đề của tôi nó sẽ không nằm ở con.
They are going into what could be the last
vấn đề của tôi nó nằm ở do cái con do không biết là vấn đề là do mạng hay gì, nhưng mà vấn đề không phải là do máy rồi. Vấn đề là không phải do bảng win rồi. Win không có lỗi. Mình đã trách nhầm nó.
And yeah, you know, you got rid of the rolling thunder. Dimensional drift from Spirit C1. Fantastic. DRG don't have as much of a punch to pack in this round in terms of those safety nets, but let's see what T1 can do with this mixed bag. Izu's got one. Buzz on the bucky finds another in this round. Off to a flying start for T1. We thought they'd look weaker, but somehow it's like the cleanest start they've had.
Yeah, it started so weird. Ackerman flying over most of his enemies and then getting caught out, surprised by Izu. A pretty hefty upgrade as well for Barzamon. Near keeps it as optimistic. With the spike down, a 1v5. I think you'd need the devil himself to show up to be able to eliminate the rest of these players. I don't think it's going to be happening. And even just damage here might help them out a bit. Instead, though, it's a flawless round. Buzz there to close it, and when T1 looked like they were dead and buried, they find a round.
Even in the end of the round, another delivery from Stax is revealed. The Hawks have been huge, and at the start, plays a similar role, giving them that info. Target selection for Buzz was easy as a result. And as you said, the fact that Izu's able to get away with that is ridiculous. Great fight, and as well, this is the round that should have seen T1 fade into obscurity. Now, they fight on an even playing field against DRG for the final round of regulation. Overtime possible. For DRG, they're competing for their organization's first win on the international stage. Losing this, it'll be much harder.
Oh, already a solid start. Buzz has been dealt with. Stacks and Meteor though fight back. In turn, Stacks wanting to get back in there, but he's got to be careful. Low HP, Demon 1 being revealed, only has the shorty to play with, but now he gets his own, looks to take him back. Izu though is fought in form. They have matched each other man for man. Even still though.
Demon 1 had spike.
Yeah, look at the position of the spike, getting it back. Is he going to be able to block this? No, it takes more than one to do so, so that's at least the spike back into their hands. I am looking, however, at DH. He's making that read early that this team might just try a move for the A side.
Xem nốt cái trận này phát
they're in this 3v2, playing the retake could have a lot of value. For DH, he has to be very selective about where and when he fights. Already drop down.
Thật sự là chắc là khi phải off thôi anh em ơi.
DRG, they might go
Hôm
to
nay
see
mình
them. Making their mind up as we speak. They know they've already taken out the Vice
xin phép
on
anh
the
em
other
hôm nay
side.
tôi xử lý cái máy tính của tôi phát được
But
không?
it will be the A
Xong
side
rồi
that's the ultimate target. A sneaky play
nếu mà
here from DH,
được
but
thì
it
chắc
all
là
comes
mai
down
gặp
to
nhau.
timing. Nick
Cho
is
sáng mai tôi
walking up
xử
on
lý
him,
nốt
but
cái
they
máy tính
decided
của
to
tôi
leave
phát.
him 10 seconds. The plan has to be secured. DH,
Không ổn
he can
một tí
just
nào
drop
cả, nó
this
lag
fight.
lắm luôn
It
ý.
could all be over here, and it's a little late. The spike gets planted, but Nick is left alone. If he doesn't find this pick, they will overwhelm him with numbers, and DH slips away to the tree. Nick against the world. He's had so many big plays. The decoy reveals him, and the double.
Tí nữa thì Nick làm hết.
But in the end, it's DH taking this across the line, bringing T1 into an overtime, giving them a chance to deny DRG on a map where they've looked beautiful.
What an absolute mad round. Both teams kicking things off with a steel garden. Shorty being the gun of the round. And Nick, well, that was one hell of a try. He was actually stuck in place by a seize that was thrown by a stack. So he gets the first move in that direction, but isn't able to reposition. And DH, once again, spoken about this youngster coming into the squad, replacing a member who helped bring home a Masters trophy. And right now, he is the best player in the server.
Well, overtime for DRG. They had the lead, they had the chance to close it. But now T1 could be right back to winning ways. On the attack side, guard T1. But look at this stack up from DRG. There's 4 players here. Previously, we've seen them fight tooth and nail for A, and T1 have been keen to take that space when it's given. But now it's a trap that's sprung. Flex him through the door, grabs one before falling. The numbers even. But it's Nick with the pressure on his shoulders again. This time he delivers, but the slide in from Buzz. Punish.
Buổi tối là lag.
2 versus 1.
Ban ngày đéo bị đâu anh em ạ.
DH reads that that's the decoy. He might have to jump on Spirit. C1, a 3rd kill. And the TP taken to the other side of the map. A plant and a 1v1. How many clutches has Demon 1 be in? But this one, the most important of all.
TP up top.
Chịu dã man, ngồi livestream mà cứ bực
They
mình
open
này.
the door. So Demon 1 has tried to bait the idea that he is coming from this position, but I feel like it's going to take him so long to go all the way back around. And once that smoke fades, DH will have the idea that this man is no longer in position. In fact, it's such an obscure angle. I don't even know if Demon 1 will expect this at all. And the problem is now that clock is starting to tick, the doubt starting to be in his mind. DH has played it to perfection again. Where have they found this man? A Red Bull clutch to give T1 a shot at map victory.
And don't get me wrong, DH has been playing the game.
Anh em xem nốt trận này rồi mọi người qua kênh của anh Bom á. Anh em chịu khó cho mình sửa vấn đề của máy 1 hôm 2 hôm nhá. À 1 hôm tối hôm nay nhá. Không đến 2 hôm đâu, mình sửa máy tối hôm nay luôn. 3 hôm nay tôi ngồi tôi xem giải tôi bị khó chịu quá rồi, mất hết cả view của tôi, xong rồi anh em cũng thấy mình bị lỗi, anh em sang kênh khác anh em xem tạm thì ở mẹ bên đấy luôn. Bực mình thật đấy.
They were trailing 12 to 10 with weak
đúng rồi, FS drop lên tội, mạng của nó không ổn tí nào luôn, vàng khe luôn. Đây cho mọi người xem mạng này. Bình thường á, xanh lắm. Này, ngày hôm nay là nhìn này. Này, cái kiểu FPT dạo này làm sao? Đây các bạn nhìn này, ui rồi ôi. Thấy không?
It is funny to think that while
đổ này, vàng này.
Not really playing for the last few months. When he was last playing, it was at least in the tier 1 over in Americas. For DH, this is a guy who is playing in the tier 2, and this is his first map on an international stage. I don't know if they're building these like young players in the lab. Like Caron felt like it was just
vấn đề đéo phải do dây, anh thay dây rồi, cài win rồi, gọi thợ đến sửa mạng rồi, làm tất cả mọi thứ rồi.
Like Meteor, Buzz, Stacks, Izu, people who've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. To potentially the first map, but he might just have to do it again. Buzz within the first seconds of the round is dead.
Ackerman's been so impressive in those opening duels, dashing in. We've seen him do it not that many rounds ago when DRG were on the attack. But with that, it looks like they'll still commit to this A site. Demon 1 holding the flank. This could be a mistake. There's so many players here. Stacks traded out. DH going to burn the paranoia just to deny the space. Slow them down.
Well, look at the rotation. Everybody's already here.
Do they call for the rotate back? It looks like they will, but the Ops now in position. Holding that cross. Flexen's got it. Finding strength in the scars he's been dealt on A main. But they'll still move towards this site. And the numbers are still here for T1, at least they were.
Lại đỏ lòm. Ôi.
Maybe the only one that really matters is still here. He would basically win them overtime if he can somehow hold on to this 35 seconds and decisions are there to be made. Meteor has left his team. I'm surprised they're splitting up. I'm surprised that's the decision. And while this time DH can't save them, Ackerman will put him in the dirt and Meteor so far away. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think the best case they had was to try and fight it as 2. Now he has to find a 1v4.
Nói thật với các bạn là chịu rồi, tôi bất lực rồi. Mạng nhảy thì thực sự là bất lực rồi.
There's chances. Now that he's been spotted, looking pretty bad. There goes the ultimate on him. Okay, Ackerman will fall, but the spam's through the wall. Even us up to 13-13. Another overtime needed. And for DRG, those opening picks on the attack from Ackerman there.
Gross.
They are everything for this squad.
Well, this is like when I go back to the critique I had of Izu in the defensive half. That's what I'm expecting to see. Like, you get in, get a kill, get out. He has no interest of like trying to double down, try and be a hero of the round. He's just get the opener and escape. And that's where I think Ackerman has truly been a force to be reckoned with. Now into that defensive round once again. And it's the same brawl over on A.
Yeah, T1 though, they sit behind Rubble patiently. Still those 4 players towards this site. T1 making a quick read again. They're giving up that space. What happened last time? It was a trap play with a lot of players in position. Expecting the same here. And although Izu stuck around, he has that gate crash used early this time. Won't make the mistake he did in regulation of giving them the picks. Now Thorns slow this push down. Give a chance for the rotations. Demon 1 won't fall for that spot again. But now they're closing in the distance. Well played to find the first. Spirit C1 from the back lines, delivering again. And a 3 versus 2. The defensive round looking likely, but with Ackerman down, we're back to a 2v2, and T1 have got a plant.
Putting themselves in a position to turn this round on its head, have another chance at claiming the victory on their opponent's choice, but Flexen and Nick have an opportunity. The flash is going to slow them down even more. The aftershock not quite finding anything, but even still, it has cleared an angle, it has checked the spot, but that time is ticking. They need to get a move on. First contact in, Izu gets 1 and it is close. But Meteor will make sure that they're the ones that get another chance at victory.
Another match point for DRG. Last time it was a timeout called here. They sought to correct course.
Không phải là xỉu mà.
Actually, I'm seeing
chán quá rồi.
it's going to be a timeout
Vấn đề máy
again,
tính
Tom,
này tôi
but
không
it's
thể tập trung vào tôi ngồi tôi xem được các bạn.
taking the breather.
Tôi cứ nhìn vào cái chỉ số nó đỏ lòm này, tôi không thể tập trung tôi xem được.
Interesting call as they're in the lead, but they did let it slip a couple of times, so well, why not?
I think also just, this is where you need a cheese round. This is where you need one thing to work for your squad, and then you close out the map. This is the perfect time for the coach to come in, because realistically, if you're a round down, you take a pause, you're basically looking to fix something while you're switching into another half. Like the round you've just lost, it would be irrelevant because you're not playing that side of the map anymore. Now, you're coming in and it has only been those attack side rounds that have been working for either side. This is what they needed to fix. One defensive round and this game is over and the coach earns his money.
One of the big strengths for T1, thinking back on towards the end of regulation at 12-10 down, they go for this all-out play of aggression towards A main, something that I think we're used to seeing from DRG on the defensive side. We're used to seeing from most teams, but it was getting Buzz into this deep spot, swing an open door, and having just this all-out brawl.
The focal point of that was Stacks. He might be bottom of the board, but the amount of supportive assists that he has had,
his haunts are unreal.
Yeah, they have been, dare I say, some of the best I've ever seen. Like, it catches someone every single round. In fact, it catches multiple people most rounds. Looking like it might be slightly different though. You've got Isu set up outside of B. He's got that operator in hand, and they will take that control, but the second they take it, Stacks is immediately back to go and support the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, the honk goes up and no utility as a response. Nobody's seen. It's now time to reinforce this C site, but it might be too late by the time he gets there. They're already teeing up for the push. DRG straight in, Meteor under pressure. He's surrounded. Stacks comes in to help and finds the first. Lands another! Stacks keeps delivering! And he might have delivered them the win! Nick, on a sliver of health, has to stand off against the off. And even then, even the classic can take him down.
Ngã sấp mặt luôn mà.
Rồi,
T1 vẫn dẫn anh em ơi.
From what looked like defeat and claim map 1, DRG's pick.
Yeah, what an incredible
Ok, nhà mình ơi, anh em mình có thể chuyển qua kênh của anh Bom xem tiếp vào không mọi người? Cảm ơn mọi người rất là nhiều nhá. Anh em lãnh nạn con bên anh Bom hộ tôi với không? Tôi sẽ tiếp tục tôi ngồi tôi test thử cái mạng của tôi phát với tình hình hiện tại thì rõ ràng là cái mạng của tôi đang có vấn đề. Thì ở trận 2 xin phép anh em là cho anh em sang bên kênh của anh Bom, anh em ngồi xem nốt trận 2. Chứ với tình hình mạng ở thời điểm hiện tại thì tôi nói thật với các bạn, tôi không thể nào mà tôi ngồi tôi live được, bởi vì mặc dù tôi rất là muốn xem trận 2, nhưng vấn đề bây giờ nó không phải là do máy, anh em hiểu không? Vấn đề không phải do máy mà vấn đề do mạng. Nên là không biết liệu có fix được để đến với cả game 2 hay không. Rất khó chịu ấy, nhưng mà thực sự là mạng của tôi bây giờ tôi không thể nào mà tôi live được anh em ạ. Ôi anh em lánh nạn một hôm giúp mình nhá, tối mai chúng ta gặp lại nhau sau. Đó, mai tôi sẽ dùng mọi cách để tôi xử lý. Đó, tôi sẽ đổi một cái modem khác, tôi sẽ mua thêm cái switch hoặc là tôi sẽ thay main các thứ, tất cả các trường hợp nếu cần thiết. Chuẩn đấy Romeo ơi. Anh em di chuyển giúp mình thì nhá. Hy vọng là tí nữa tầm 10 giờ rưỡi gì đấy anh em mình có mạng ổn định lại thì chúng ta gặp lại nhau sau. Chứ bây giờ mọi người nhìn đấy, không điều mọi người. Đây tôi cho các bạn xem này. Đây các bạn có thể nhìn cái chỉ số này. Thấy không? Nó 3 vạch không? Thấy nó 3 vạch không? Sau một tí đỏ lòm này, drop frame này, đỏ lòm luôn. Bây giờ không quan trọng là bao nhiêu tiền. Đó, bây giờ đơn chỉ đơn giản này. Đấy, nhìn này, đỏ lòm này. Đây. Đây. Bây giờ không phải là do bao nhiêu tiền nữa, bao nhiêu tiền cũng được, miễn là nó được yên ổn để mà tôi ngồi tôi xem với cả các bạn. Cái cảm giác tôi rất là thích ngồi xem giải, nhưng mà bây giờ thì không thích nữa rồi. Bởi vì cái cảm xúc của tôi bây giờ nó bị khó chịu quá rồi, tôi không thể nào mà tập trung tôi ngồi tôi xem giải được nữa. Chẳng biết phải làm sao cả. Mẹ cay thật đấy. Ọc anh em nhá. Anh đéo biết có băng thông hay không, nhưng ngày hôm nay thì các anh mạng qua hỗ trợ họ mở hết tất cả băng thông các thứ cho rồi, nên không thể là do băng thông. Bây giờ